Hey guys, and welcome back to Love It or Leave It. I am so sorry that we haven't done one in like over a month. When I was due to film my last Love It or Leave It, I was in the middle of finals week, and then I had break, and I just honestly kind of lost track of the time. But don't worry, Love It or Leave It, they're here to stay. They're gonna continue to be a regular thing. I know you guys love these videos, I love these videos, and I just wanted to say, since you guys who watch my Love It or Leave It videos, you're like my main squad. Thank you guys so much. We just hit 100,000 subscribers, which is crazy, and I'm just really so proud of the positive community we've built here. You guys are always being so kind in the comments to each other, to me. It's just so amazing to me that we have this group of positive women here, and the occasional supportive man too. We don't like the creeps, but we do like the supportive ones. This Love It or Leave It, we have a lot to cover. If you are new to Love It or Leave It videos, basically this is kind of like your activewear book club, where we go over little mini reviews of any pieces that I didn't really get to do a full review of this month. Any quality updates, because most reviews are just filmed in a short period of time of testing the item, so I like to give quality updates months after wearing something, if it's either held up or not. Any favorites, things I've been loving, and then upcoming launches of the month. And there are actually quite a few launches, either have already happened this week or happening in the next couple weeks. Also, I'm really feeling the spring vibes today. I have my yellow nails on. I finally found a good yellow nail polish. I'll link it down below. I do gel nails, by the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram. You might not know that. And this is one of the Alphalete Ultra Soft crops that's launching on June 5th. I am gonna do a full Alphalete review of all the new stuff that's launching before the launch, but I don't have a code with them or anything. Also, I know we're not talking about the favorites section yet, but I love these Highball energy drinks. I got kind of tired of the overly sweetened, like Alani Nu, 3D Energy, like Monsters, things like that, even though they don't have sugar in them. But this is just sparkling water that has a little caffeine in it, so. The first mini review is for the Tier Vital collection. They're launching 3 tie-dye biker short sets, and this one might be the most beautiful tie-dye I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot. There's a lot of tie-dyes out there. So this is launching on May 22nd at 12 p.m. EST. I do have a discount code. It's a 10% discount. The code is CATH if you use it. Also, you can enter my monthly giveaway. I've talked about Tier several times on my channel. I tried them about a year ago, and I just really love their unique designs and their quality, and their small women-owned business, and we love supporting small women-owned businesses here on this channel. So the Vital collection has 3 tie-dye colors. So first, the multicolored tie-dye, which is my favorite one, and I think if you're going for this one, maybe get on the website quick, because I've already had so many people message me saying they're interested in this one. But this is the color Zealous. It's a mix of a lavender purple, blue, and a corally peach on a white biker short. This muted purple color is called Heather, and I think this one has the darkest base. And then there's Lumi. So to my knowledge, these are only coming in biker shorts, no leggings. They're about an 8-inch inseam from what I measured, so they definitely are a true biker short. They have no front seam, and they don't exactly have curved glute seams, but there is a slight taper, and I think they did a really good job of just kind of like curving around the leg line on the side and just kind of being very flattering in terms of the glutes. Definitely at least a medium to high on the booty scale, because this goes well above your glutes. They're definitely a high rise. They go above my belly button. It's a great length for me. This is kind of my ideal biker short length. They don't look too long, but they're long enough to not roll up or ride up. They also are just like the teeniest bit snug at the bottom of the hem. And I'm not saying snug in a way that cuts in, but snug enough to hold the leg there so it doesn't slide up, because if you don't have enough compression in that thigh opening, the shorts just end up sliding up. So these stay down really well on me. Material is a 75% nylon, 25% spandex, and even though they're tie-dyed, they still do have a slight brush to them. I'd say they're about a medium compression, a little less compression than the Camo Fitness ones, because these are pretty similar. They also have a beautiful raised logo, and I just think their tie-dye is one of the like prettiest tie-dyes, and it's very well done. Like, this just literally looks like the ocean. This one, I liked how subtle it ended up. It's almost like barely even a tie-dye. These are also going to be very cellulite friendly, and I didn't get any camel problems in the front, but you can kind of see when I hold up the crotch gusset, it has a tendency to appear in the front. I think because these are a tie-dye, it's a little less noticeable than if it was a solid, but I did especially notice it in the Zealous color, because I ended up with a crotch gusset on these ones that was pretty white, so it just kind of like draws your eye there a little bit more. Because it is a tie-dye, you are going to get like a unique pattern on yours, so it's not guaranteed that you'll have as white of one as me, but I did notice the crotch gusset appearing a little bit in the front. So if that's something that tends to bother you, then do be aware of that. I don't know the prices of these yet, but if I do, I will put it on the screen. I also double squat tested the Zealous color because it does have a white base, and I squat tested with dark green full coverage underwear, and I really don't think it's super noticeable. I did work out at the gym in these and I really didn't see anything. So even though it's white, I think with the tie-dye and like especially depending on where you get your dye, mine were squat proof. One last point is the waistband is pretty short, so you're not going to get any lower tummy control with these. I personally don't mind because I like the waistband to stay above my glutes and everything, which these did, but if you're looking for lower tummy control, these are probably not the ones. In terms of sizing, I'd say these are very true to size. If you're in between, I think you could go either way. You could probably size down and just get a little more compression, or size up if you're really worried about it. I would generally stay with your normal legging size because I didn't have any areas of excessive tightness or looseness. But yeah, tie-dye's been around for a while, but I just really love these sets. I feel like the tie-dye is so cute, especially this color. Okay, let's move on to the sports bras. Then the sports bra, this one is a solid medium support, and there's really very minimal side boob spillage. Pretty good side boob coverage, didn't notice anything there. This does kind of like push you up a little bit. It has like a mesh lining with really nice sized cup pads as well. I always like the cup pads in tier sports bras because they just cover your full boob so you can never see the edges, which is nice. So they have a little mesh lining that I feel like was nice and like firm and like helped with the support. It is a long line bra. There's no seam at the end of the long line, and it has kind of like a sweetheart neckline that I found very flattering. I felt like the sports bras ran a teeny bit small. I could have probably done a medium. I can still totally do the small, and I'm going to continue to wear it, and it wasn't spilling out, but my boobs did kind of extend into the long line part, so I wasn't completely contained in like the bust area, if that makes sense. So I could have used just a little more room. The straps, I thought they were tight at first, but I wore this for a whole workout and kind of like lingered in the outfit for at least an hour or two after my workout, and I wasn't getting a significant amount of cutting in. So in the back has the same raised little tier logo, very nice logos, and the straps do cross over on top of the bra. Those are the sets launching May 22nd. I'll be posting a full workout in these on my Instagram as well, so make sure to check that out. But yeah. The next mini review is Camo Fitness. They had a launch on May 17th, so I'm not sure how much stuff will still be on the website, but I don't feel like it'll sell out. I do always make sure I can review things before the launch, at least on my Instagram stories. So if you're not following me on Instagram, I do always do that on stories and often save them to highlights. So I do currently have a Camo Fitness highlight where I did review this. So let's just hop right in. They did bring back animal print in two different colors. There's a darker charcoal and a blue. These are the Serenity shorts in 6 inches, so they are the same material as the solid color Serenity leggings that I've reviewed before, a 75% nylon, 25% spandex, but the animal print feels much less brushed and a little more sleek. So a little more on the performance material side, but definitely not shiny. So they have a slightly tapered waistband, no band at the top. Nothing today we're talking about has a band at the top. I wear a size small in everything Camo Fitness. I find that these run true to size, but if you're in between, I might size down. They're 6 inches, so kind of like almost barely a biker short. I just consider them regular shorts still, and these do not squish your thighs at all. So if you have really thick thighs, these would be great for you. The only thing about that is I almost feel like these didn't have enough compression at the bottom to prevent them from sliding up. I did do a workout in them, and by the end of my workout, they almost looked more like 4-inch shorts. They never rolled up because they are long enough to not roll up, but they did slide up. Again, a little bit on the slipperier side. They have no front seam, so no camel, and they have curved glute seams. I would say they're a little less flattering on the glutes than the Ellen leggings and shorts. I do prefer the Ellen collection from them than the Serenity, but I still do like the Serenity. The Ellen leggings are just like one of my all-time favorites. About a light to medium compression overall on these, and they're super stretchy. One new pair of Ellen leggings. Again, these are my favorites. So I have reviewed the Ellen leggings a couple times on my channel. This is a new print. They have a really nice shape waistband that kind of dips down in the front, gives you a little lower tummy control, and these are like the most flattering on the glutes. The curved glute seams are just a little more pronounced than the Serenities, and they sit a little bit higher, and they're just super flattering. I also find that these stay up better than the Serenity leggings. This kind of reminds me of the Buff Bunny Triggered print, so if you missed out on that, that or you're looking for a dupe for that, this print is pretty similar. They are brushed. They feel a little softer than the Ellen tie-dye, but a little less soft than the solid colored Ellens, because the solid colored Ellens are like the all-time softest. These are a little less soft just because it's a print. It is a print and it's obviously on white because most of the legging is white. So in areas that stretch a lot, you're gonna get like a little bit of stretching of the black, but I think because it's such a busy print, I wasn't really noticing that. And I do think the prints and the tie-dye for the Ellen leggings in general run a little bit small. I was definitely feeling a little compressed in the waist area, so I would consider sizing up in these. Definitely if you're in between, I'd size up. I'm still happy with the small because I just have a good amount of compression in them. These are probably a medium high compression just because of the smaller size for me. But if you've tried Camo Fitness and you had to size up in the tie-dye, I would also size up in this one. There's also Serenity long sleeve tops, same material as the shorts, so kind of a slightly performance material. I'd say it's a pretty long length crop. It almost goes to the top of my leggings. The sleeves almost went down the full length of my arm, not quite. I do have kind of long arms because I'm tall. And yeah, it's just kind of a basic long sleeve crop. I'm not a huge fan of long sleeve crops. I really don't find myself wearing them very much. They also have Ellen cropped tanks in the animal print, so it's the two animal print colors. I love these little tank tops. I wear them all the time, often honestly not to the gym. I just wear them like for lifestyle, for like doing errands or just like living my life. I don't really go a lot of places because what do I do besides school and YouTube? But these are super comfy. It's nice that they don't go over your traps as a lot of tops do. It's definitely a deep V, so expect cleavage, especially if you have a larger cup size. Sometimes I feel like it's a lot of cleavage, but sometimes I don't care. Got a medium support as well. There is a built-in bra, and these are kind of like aligned tanks in their shape, and I just find them very flattering. I do also wear a small in these. If you're in between or you have a larger cup size, I may size up in the Ellen tanks. Serenity leggings, not much to say about these. They're very similar to the Serenity shorts, about a 7/8 length. I wear a small. If in between, I would size down, but overall true to size. They're a little slippery, and sometimes the Serenity leggings I find just don't sit quite as high as I'd like, so they kind of slide down a little bit, especially in this material that's a little more performance and not quite as grippy as like a brushed legging. But the animal print is also a little stretchier than the solid one, so I find that you could like pull this one up a little more, and like if you're interested in like pulling up your leggings to be more flattering on the glutes, which I do. No front seam, about a light to medium compression. Nothing crazy, and they have the curved glute seams. So. And lastly, a new Hunter Green is I think the name. Consider this like a forest green of the Kaya pocket leggings in the Kaya sports bra. These are my second favorite leggings from Camo behind the Ellens. So if I had to rank them, it'd be the Ellen leggings, the Kaya pocket leggings, then the Serenity leggings. A little more compressive than the solid Ellen leggings. These get about like medium to high. If you're in between on these, I might size up, but overall true to size. Not quite as high on the waist as the Ellen leggings, but still a high rise. No front seam, side pockets, and curved glute seams. I find these really flattering, and they're brushed, but they're a little less fuzzy than the solid colored Ellen leggings. So I find these are a good performance legging. I often wear them on hikes because I do like the side pockets for my hikes. Still a 7/8 length, so they're not a full length, but I think these are one of the most flattering pocket leggings out there, and they're still really affordable. So I'd say they're pretty comparable to the Buff Bunny Rosa pocket leggings, and these are like half the price. Kaya sports bra. I'd love to see Camo Fitness come out with more sports bras because they have so many tanks, which I love the tanks, but if I want to wear a full set, I do like a sports bra. I'd also say size up if in between on this one. I do find that like the Tier sports bra, I kind of extended out of the bust area. I needed just like a little more space. This one's also long line, but it has a tiny little band at the bottom. It's not an elastic though, so it doesn't cut in. And I think I get a little more cleavage and a little more side boob than the Tier bra if I had to compare it to something today, because we already talked about that. But yeah, I think this set together is so cute, and I'll always love a nice like bluish green. It's just my thing. And that is it for Camo Fitness. And our third and final mini review, we have a couple things from Oxjox on Amazon. I have been reviewing Oxjox stuff on Amazon for like at least 2 years now, because they're always the first one to get the Gymshark dupes, and they're always pretty good quality, and they're very honest on their Amazon page. Like they list the squat proofness of their leggings, and if it's literally like a yellow legging, they'll be like, this is 20% squat proof. They're very honest, and I just appreciate that transparency, because so many brands are like 90% squat proof, and then you can like see your entire crack while wearing it. So they actually sent me these, which was super nice. But yeah, they have a ton of stock and a ton of colors of the Adapt Camo Seamless. I think these are around 25 to 30, and like the zebra print, so the Adapt Animal. I used to find Oxtrox ran a little bit big. This time I felt like these ran almost a little bit small, so I would definitely size up if in between. I am wearing a size small in the try on for these, and in the squat test it definitely felt a little bit tight, so I probably could have done a medium. I also will say, to the touch, these don't feel like the seamless kind of itchy material, but if you're familiar with seamless leggings, they can get that little like itchy sensation over time, especially like a Vital seamless material. And when I was wearing these, maybe because they were a little bit tight, I did feel a little bit of itchiness. So if you hate that itchiness, can't stand it, might stay away from these, but it's definitely still better than the Vital Seamless. They also have the little subtle scrunch that on some people does absolutely nothing, on some other people it helps. This seems a little less gathered than the most recent Gymshark one. It's a little less booty hole-y, if you know what I'm saying. These were pretty compressive. Again, they were also a little bit small, so I found them to be a high compression, but they have tons of colors. Oh, pins. First appearance of the video. You know, they say that I don't include you on videos enough, you and Peach. So you're gonna have to make more appearances, okay? Okay. And they also have new solid seamless leggings that do not have a glute contour. These are similar to the navigation leggings that don't have the contour. So these are definitely true to size. So these are super stretchy, super easy to like gather the fabric around your glutes and make them super flattering. Also super stretchy. So in the squat test, I did not feel any restriction. Nice, thick, pretty compressive waistband. The only thing about these that is the reason why I don't often participate in navigation launches or wear navigation at all, every person I see in them, they just gather so much around the crotch. I don't know why it's such a normal thing and that no one seems to be bothered by it. I think just because they're so flattering on the glutes that people just make an exception. They're like, whatever, like I'll deal with some crotch gathering, some single camel. But they have these with and without the contour on Amazon, so linked down below as always. The next category is things I've been loving this month, so kind of favorites, if you will. And listen, I never used to be a fan of the kind of like flowy running shorts, but I have been absolutely living in this style of shorts since I first got these Alphalete ones like 2 months ago. The Alphalete Active shorts, which are definitely the shortest ones, and they don't have a very solid lining, so sometimes I feel like could be at risk for flashing someone, but it's just nice on really hot days. There's nothing too tight on you, and they're so short that like it's just very cooling. And it's gonna be like 90 degrees where I am for the foreseeable future, so I need flowy shorts. I've also been wearing the Buff Bunny Flow shorts a lot. These do have an inner short lining, so there's a little more coverage there, and these also are much longer, so I always feel like my butt is going to be completely covered in these. I think they said they'd be coming out with solid colored versions of these. This is from the Marble launch, so stay tuned for updates about that. And I'm also wearing some from 413 apparel. They just launched the pink ones, which I think sold out very quickly because these shorts are pretty popular. But I think they're doing a pre-order of the black ones, so if they're still doing that on the website, I'll be sure to link them down below. But I also love the 413 ones. They don't have any sort of lining, and they're also pretty short, but they're nice high rise, and they're kind of like a swimsuit material. So I actually wore them in San Diego after I went like kayaking in the ocean, and it just felt nice to be in like a swimsuit type material. Another thing I've been loving as we approach summer is just very lightweight tank tops. In the winter, I always wear like a sweatshirt to the gym because I only wear a sports bra to work out in, so I'm never wearing like a top. I like to be covered. So in the winter, I always wear a little top over my outfit to go to the gym. But in the summer, I don't want to put on like a jacket after I've been sweating and working out, and it's just too hot for that. So this is the Buff Bunny Iris tank. I think they still have it in stock in a few colors and sizes. Just a super open back, very open around the sleeves too, so it's not too close to your armpits. And I just like the soft like modal material. But Buff Bunny often launches a lot of full length tanks over the summer, actually year round. So there still should be some more because they kind of tend to be my go-to. But I love this one. Third section of the video, my quality updates. I do have 2 quality updates today. I tried to do my best about updating you guys on things that have and haven't lasted. So most often I notice when things haven't lasted over time, but we're also going to be talking about things that do last over time. And in my most recent sweatpant video, I talked about how basically every pair of sweatpants ends up pilling between the legs as you walk, especially if your thighs touch like mine do. So that's been a very common occurrence for sweatpants for me. And these tier sweatpants, they're still in stock on the website. I know it's kind of approaching summer, but sometimes I still wear sweatpants, and I know it's still cold for some of you guys. These are amazing. They're so thick and so soft on the inside and the outside. I was concerned about the softness on the outside, but I have quite literally lived in these since I got them because they're just so comfy and soft, and I was expecting pilling on the legs. And this is the area in between the thighs, and there's not a single pill. Not a single pill. And it's just amazing. These look like brand new, and I've worn the crap out of them. I often wear this color because it's white cat fur friendly, and I do have Peach, who's a white cat, and she sheds a lot. I did size up to a medium in these for a little extra space, but if you're in the market for sweatpants, these have held up so well, and I highly recommend them. And now onto probably my biggest legging tragedy of the year. Some people probably think I'm crazy if they don't like understand the legging community. So I went on a little hike the other day and I wore my Buff Bunny Spin leggings, and when I put them in the wash, I think I washed some other things related to my hike, potentially had some Velcro on it, and it caught onto my Spin leggings and like basically got a couple spots of this like horrible pilling. I hope this is showing up, but I can also insert a picture, but they're just like these little spots of pilling, and these are like a sleek performance material. Usually sleek performance materials don't pill, so I think part of this was user error. Me washing this with something that caught onto it and snagged the leggings in a couple spots and, you know, gave them pilling. So here's your warning: if you have Buff Bunny Spin leggings, wash them in a delicates bag inside out, because they're more delicate than I anticipated. But I also just don't think that this would have happened to some of even Buff Bunny's other performance materials. So I just think that the Spin legging material is a little bit delicate, and it's just so sad because these were like my favorite performance leggings, and if they're snagging like this, maybe they're not so performance leggings. So this is actually my first pair of Buff Bunny leggings to pill like at all, and it's just devastating. So and lastly, upcoming launches for the month of May into June, as far as I know. We already talked about this, but Camo Fitness launched May 17th. Buff Bunny had a little restock of the Northern Lights leggings and bra, as well as the Rebel leggings and a Rebel bra, which is the shape of the Rosa bra in the Buff Bunny Rebel fabric, which is the black animal print. So those restocked on May 18th, which is super exciting. I don't know if they're already sold out or what. People usually buy them a little less often, but I do wear a size extra small in the Buff Bunny Rebel leggings because I just felt like they ran a little big. I don't think you have to size down. I know a lot of people who didn't. If you tend to like a little more compression, I would size down. So I wear an extra small. Tier is launching May 22nd. 12 p.m. EST. Alphalete is having a huge launch with new Amplify colors on June 5th. I will be doing a full review before the launch, so stay tuned for that. In the Balance Quartz launch is also delayed. I don't know when that's gonna be, but that was supposed to be happening this week, but they've been having delays. I don't know, I feel like they've been talking about quartz for like over a month now and it's still not launching. I'm like, it's too much. All right guys, that's it for Love It or Leave It. We will be doing these more regularly, I promise. I'm gonna literally schedule it into my calendar to film, so don't worry. If you made it this far, give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more, as well as follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I've been trying to post there. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!